She begged her parents to let her go and see a full-fledged Vegas stage production.
May have actually been based on her instead of Vlad Tepes,
Yes, this is not madness, this is Cassandra Peterson, a strange and haunting phenomenon. Before the world knew her as Elvira, Queen of the Night and a symbol of confidence and power, Peterson lived through dark chapters of her life that few expected. Behind the glamorous makeup and seductive deep voice was a shocking secret, a serious accident that almost took her life at the age of 20, and a lesbian relationship that lasted nearly 2 decades that she kept as a silent secret. In this video, we will take you into the real world behind the icon, where the spotlight cannot shine. And join me in the go-go dance, and prepare for the next great and mysterious things. If you are fascinated by this story, hit like, subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the untold truths about Hollywood icons. Born on September 17, 1951 in the small town of Manhattan, Kansas, where everything was too normal to accommodate a strange soul like her, Cassandra Peterson grew up like a bat among pigeons. With her fiery red hair and strange hobby of being fascinated by blood, ghosts, and darkness, she soon became the weird girl who was whispered about around the schoolyard. Her passion for horror ignited when Cassandra was only 8 years old, after her cousin secretly took her to see House on Haunted Hill. In the darkness of the theater, with Vincent Price creeping on the screen, she found not only fear but also the purest joy. From then on, instead of playing with dolls, she made friends with Dracula, Frankenstein, and ghosts on the silver screen. But that small town was not tolerant of eccentric souls. Cassandra had to endure ridicule, bullying, and isolation. While other children skipped rope in the sun, she buried herself in horror magazines and dreams of cursed castles. It was that difference that forged the legendary Queen of the Night we know today, not in spite of it, but because of it. At 17, Cassandra Peterson didn't leave Kansas, she ran away from it like a vampire from the dawn. Destination, Las Vegas, a paradise of neon lights, glittering sequins, and wandering souls seeking glory in the darkness. Enchanted by Viva Las Vegas and the image of Elvis Presley as a rock god in a silver jumpsuit, Cassandra plunged into the world of drag queens like a fish to blood. Amid towering wigs, eyeliner that reached to hell, and stages that sparkled with sweat and glitter, she found herself, both eccentric and strangely alluring. But Vegas was no fairyland. When she wasn't performing, she swayed on nightclub stages like a dark goddess in the form of a go-go dancer, each tip a survival leap in the red desert. And then, fate in the shape of Elvis appeared. On a moonlit night in a hotel suite where champagne flowed like vampire blood, it was the king himself who whispered in her ear, "Baby, Vegas is not for the likes of you. Go. The show is on." Elvis didn't just give her advice, he gave her a prophecy. And Cassandra, with her heart beating to the beat of the bass and her eyeliner still unwashed, began her journey to becoming an immortal icon, not a princess, but the Queen of the Night. Cassandra's acting debut was less a Hollywood dream than a glitter-and-smoke nightmare. Her first role? A blink, you probably didn't even see it, in Diamonds Are Forever, a James Bond film. Even though it was a small supporting role like a fake nail, it was her first step in crawling out of the shadows and into the light, and back into the shadows in her own unique way. Then, like a restless ghost, Cassandra drifted to Italy. There, she became a misfit rocker, screaming in 2 eccentric bands called I Latin 80 and the Snails, yes, Snails, because everyone needs a slow, slimy image. Then, boom! She was picked by Federico Fellini for a role in Roma. Things began to take a turn for the surrealist cinematic dream, with streets full of illusions and people wearing hats made of chandeliers. But make no mistake, the light didn't last forever. After leaving Italy, Cassandra returned to the States and continued to survive in a bizarre way, working at the Playboy Club in Miami, where long-eared bunnies and cocktails were always in hand. She signed with Hugh Hefner's modeling agency, and performed musical comedy as a haunted house clown. Then came the darkest part, a nude photo shoot that she thought was just art, but ended up appearing in porn magazines without her permission. Painful, humiliating, but for a Queen of the Night, it was just another beautiful scar in her collection of resilience. In 1979, Cassandra Peterson joined the Groundlings, a place where crazy, weird, and comedic geniuses gathered to laugh at stereotypes. And it was in that den that a strange, sexy, and punchline-inducing creature was born, Elvira. Initially a joke in drama class, Elvira quickly became a ghostly figure, with a dress slit nearly to the ceiling, hair that spiked like electricity, and eyes as sharp as acrylic nails. But don't let her looks fool you. Hidden beneath her thick layers of makeup was a killer sense of humor, specializing in turning fear into bitter laughter. Then fate knocked, in 1981 to be exact, when LA television station KHJ needed a wild daughter of Vampira to host a late-night horror show. Cassandra, with eyeliner as thick as a bat's wing, and an air of being part porn star, part theater witch, showed up to the audition like a cold wind blowing through a graveyard. She blew away all the other contenders. With the help of her best friend Robert Redding, who was part makeup artist, part iconographer, Elvira was portrayed as a mix of kabuki, the Ronettes, and a Halloween nightmare. And so, on September 26, 1981, Hello Darlings played for the first time, and the world shuddered with delight. Who would have thought that a busty witch would become a phenomenon? Elvira not only dominated television, she also invaded every corner of popular culture, from The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson to every Halloween costume shelf. She wasn't just an icon, she was a genre shifter. Don't let the black lipstick and razor-sharp smile fool you. Elvira's success didn't come on a broomstick strewn with roses. From the moment she emerged from her television grave, Elvira was dragged into a battle, truly witch war. An actress who played Vampira, the dark ancestor of all queens of the night, was not very happy to see Cassandra looming over her with her low-cut dress and goofy demeanor. She withdrew from the project, leaving a void, and a pile of legal troubles that reeked of the undead. To avoid the courtroom, the character Elvira was forced to revive, change her name, edit her image, and hide her inspiration like a skeleton in a closet. Then came the big lawsuit. "You stole me," Vampira screamed, in legal style, of course. But no, the court declared, Elvira was her own weird original. Cassandra won the case, and Elvira continued to crawl on screen, lipstick intact. And yet, the next battle came from the people in the house. The producers, who had obviously never seen a black dress with a slit to the navel, demanded that Cassandra clean up the costume. But Elvira was no pushover. She clawed back with her sharp claws, declaring, "No cleavage, no Elvira." And like black magic, when the audience went crazy over this eerie image, the protests immediately turned to dust, zombie dust, of course. After decades of hiding behind mascara thicker than London fog and black dresses with slits that reach as high as the underworld, Cassandra Peterson, yes, the girl behind Elvira, finally takes off her mask. And no, not on Halloween, but in the shocking memoir Yours Cruelly, Elvira, Memoirs of the Mistress of the Dark, 2021. In it, Cassandra not only recounts her fun first, blood second career, but also literally peels back her own scars. As a child, she suffered severe burns to 35% of her body, a tragedy that turned her into the weirdest person in her class, but also nurtured the unyielding spirit and eerie beauty of the Queen of the Dark. You see, beauty comes from pain, and a little highlighter in the right place. But what made the world gasp, and not because of the ghost, was the revelation of a nearly 20-year lesbian relationship with Teresa T. Weirson, a mysterious woman Cassandra met at a sweaty and unexpectedly romantic gym. This relationship was kept secret like a locked grimoire, for fear of breaking the illusion of a sexy, straight Elvira. When she dared to come out, 11,000 people walked out, perhaps unable to bear the image of Elvira loving a woman instead of loving themselves. But as every powerful witch knows, burn one bridge, you fly on a broomstick to another. More than 60,000 new fans came, clapping loudly and screaming, "Live, sister!" And for the first time in years of incarnation, Cassandra was not Elvira, but truly alive. No masks, no magic, just the truth, and a little dark sparkle. Thank you, brave souls, for joining me in the mysterious mists of the past. If this story has you shuddering with delight, or at least making your eyeliner quiver, then don't hesitate to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell like you've just summoned a blood moon ritual. I promise to be back, with more dark secrets, deep black dresses, and killer smiles.